We begin with the pre-inaugural session based on the theme of Infocom 2020, the next normal. And it is my privilege and honor to introduce the opening keynote speaker, Mr. Sanjay Gupta, who is the country manager and vice president, Google India. Mr. Sanjay Gupta has had a career spanning nearly 3 decades, and he joins Google India as country manager and vice president from Star and Disney India, where he was the managing director. During that time, he played a pivotal role in Star becoming the largest media company in India. He was instrumental in extending their traditional television content to digital consumers through Hotstar. He is also widely credited for building their sports business via the acquisition of marquee cricketing properties and launch of the hugely popular Kabaddi and football leagues, Pro Kabaddi League and Indian Super League. Mr. Gupta has been instrumental in building strong brands over his career. He has also worked with Hindustan Unilever and Bharti Airtel. Mr. Gupta is a postgraduate from the IIM Calcutta and is an engineer from Delhi College of Engineering. I now invite Mr. Sanjay Gupta, Country Manager and Vice President, Google India, to deliver the opening keynote address on the next normal. Over to you, sir.
We are here to discuss the importance of digital adoption in these fast-changing times. And right now, we're experiencing change like never before in our lives. Throughout 2020, we have felt not just the devastating health impact of the coronavirus, but also its broader impact on global, national, and local economies. In the April to June quarter, as all of you know, India's GDP shrank by 23.9%, the highest contraction ever in our country's history. And forecasting firms have revised India's growth downwards over the medium term from the pre-pandemic 6.5% to 4.5% over 2020 to 2025. But I believe the prognosis can be vastly different if we choose to make it so. We have seen amazing examples of resilience and compassion in response to the pandemic, from community organizations supporting those most in need, to small businesses finding new ways to serve their customers, all in the most difficult of circumstances. We have seen people and businesses adapt, including, most strikingly, through the adoption of technology at a pace and scale without precedent in recent history. If I can say so, in some ways, in the past 10 months, we have squeezed in the potential changes of the next 10 years. Yes, the next 10 years. And as we reflect on that change, it brings to mind the famous Charles Darwin quote in which he says, "It is not the strongest of the species, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change." Now, of course, despite this month's good news on vaccine, there is a long road ahead to bring the virus under control and rebuild for the future. But one thing is crystal clear. We won't be going back to the world we lived in before. That's a challenging notion, but it should also be an exciting one. As Google CEO Sundar Pichai has said, times of challenge can lead to incredible moments of innovation. The global surge of digital adoption means we can bring more people into the growing digital economy. It gives us chance to expand access to information, services, and opportunity through technology, accelerating the progress we have made over the past few years and more. Take the simple metric of data consumption here in India. Back in 2014, monthly data consumption per Indian user was just a mere 86 MB. By 2018, that had risen to 8 GB, helped along actually by the steeply falling data prices. But in just a few months since COVID struck, monthly data consumption has soared to 14 GB per user per month, almost doubling versus 2018. India, as you already know, was already home to the world's second largest online population, with more than 500 million people online. Today, the digital economy is becoming more helpful and accessible. Digital services are playing a bigger role in people's lives. Our challenge, in fact, our responsibility, is to ensure that the role remains positive, that technology empowers, enables, and inspires new ideas in the post-COVID world. Already, we are beginning to see this positive transformation take place. Of the roughly 60 million small and medium enterprise in our country, many have started implementing digital payments, helping them reach new consumers, irrespective of their location. Online tools have been a boon in these times of social isolation. And those small businesses that have embraced digital are getting the results that they deserve. A great example of this is how our neighborhood Kirana stores have very quickly moved to communicating with customers via WhatsApp and have started accepting digital payments during the lockdown, offering safety and convenience to their customers. Many even put their inventory catalogs on Google Sheets to share with their customers in the absence of e-commerce options. Then there are companies like Topper that are providing free access to their live and video classes for students from grade 1 to 12, and health companies like CureFit who introduce online consultation with their experts. Maruti, as another example, recently announced that over the past 5 months during COVID-19, the contribution of inquiries via their digital channels has exceeded 33%, all thanks to the dealerships going digital. The bottom line, the case for digital adoption is indisputable. We have seen an 88% year-on-year growth in consumers shopping directly from a website. The staggering rate at which customers have started using digital transactions is evident from the fact that it took over 3 years for UPI transactions to clock its first billion transactions per month in November of 2019, but has since, in less than a year, added another billion monthly transactions in October 2020. It is expected that UPI will be doing a billion transactions a day, by the end of 2022. We are used to digital payments growing, but the pandemic has truly supercharged the rate of adoption. And behind those raw figures, let's not forget, it's a story of greater financial inclusion and growing economic opportunity. There are other examples of technologies empowering social impact in the midst of this crisis. Video conferencing has seen a massive rise in usage in the context of education, with the pandemic forcing parents, students, and educators to stay home, impacting close to 32 crore children across the country. Screens have provided both an alternative to physical school and a great source of learning in their own right, championed by amazing YouTube creators who run channels like Don't Memorize. It is hard to believe that until last year, parents would strictly limit their kids' screen time. But today, using smartphones and laptops is encouraged in every home. This to me has represented a radical shift in perception. Needless to say, not all families, not all parents can afford to pay for education online. With millions who are unable to gain access to smartphones and the internet, many parts of our society are left disadvantaged, and we collectively need to solve for that. Which is why YouTube is working to make more high quality content free. And we hope to continue to expand the options for people to learn online, including by meeting the demand for content in vernacular languages for more than 90% of Indians who speak a language, local language, other than English. When it comes to the many ways digital tools can enhance our progress beyond the pandemic. The list can keep going on and on. Whether it is the expansion of e-commerce volume, helping people in rural India get vital goods, the threefold expansion in hiring for remote jobs, or the rapid strides we are making in AI today. There is a vast horizon of possibility for technology's role in our society. We believe AI alone has the potential to add $500 billion in value to the economy, while also making headway on national challenges like better forecasting floods or more accurately diagnosing disease. It is not just that COVID itself has driven new uses and purposes for technology. It is that this once in a generation disruption has challenged us to use every tool at our disposal to address the challenges and opportunities before us. Sundar's announcement of the $10 billion Google for India Digitization Fund was partly an expansion of our existing efforts, but it was also a commitment to do more and to do it faster, including working with Jio to get affordable smartphones into the hands of millions more Indians across the country. Looking ahead, we at Google want to do our part, and I know all of you stand ready to do your part to bring about the next phase of India's transformation into a digital economy that can improve lives at home and lead innovation around the world. Though all of us can see silver linings, I'm sure the worry about the challenges with many questions that we may grapple with every day. First, is this the world where only big companies can win? Or will smaller businesses be able to adapt, change, and deliver in this new normal? The other question could be, do you have to be a national or an international player? Or can you win as a local player? Personally, a lot of people may feel at my age, can I participate in this new world of opportunities? What will it take for me to be on the top of this dramatic shift which is happening in society? All these are very valid concerns and questions. However, my belief is that this new world order is about democratization of opportunities. Any one of us, be it young or old, local or national or international, or small or big, can indeed succeed. This is the biggest opportunity of our lifetime in India. If we are bold, if we embrace this challenge, we can create value for ourselves, for our society, and for our country. So I'd like to, with that note, leave you with three themes to consider. First, accept that the world has changed. No matter what your role, whether you're an official, a founder, an engineer, a CIO, acknowledging this inevitable change is an important first step. Whether it is a small modification in the way your business functions in these times, to a strategic shift in its focus, internalize the fact that customers have changed, the business context has changed, the competitors have changed, and things will need to be done differently. Second, and even more critical, is be nimble. Go back to your office or your home office with a renewed sense of urgency to bring about change as swiftly as possible. The pandemic has created a window of opportunity that we cannot afford to forego by holding on to old ways of thinking or working. or through a sense of complacency about what's possible in the future, the sooner you can align your business to a new sustainable heading, the greater will be the long-term advantages. Third, and finally, disrupt. The opportunity in front of us is discontinuous. The answers to what we should do have to be non-linear. This means we need to disrupt our own business models, our own approach, our solutions, our marketing, and our distribution. Our lives and work have been disrupted, and such an environment is ripe with the opportunity to leapfrog ahead. So if you have been toying with an exciting idea at the back of your head, the time to effect a radical change in the status quo is now. I think as is very visible at Infocom this year, you're reaching a large audience than ever before this year, and all digitally. We could have barely imagined this a few years back. From 1,000 people that Infocom used to get at a physical event every year, this year, you're most likely to cross 3 lakh people across social media. So as you can see, disruption is real with what you're doing, and it is here and it is now. Coming back to Darwin's maxim, what matters isn't strength or intelligence, but adaptability. Remember, the big and powerful dinosaurs perished in the cataclysm, but the small, nimble, and resourceful humans thrived. It is humbling to think that some of the most profound changes taking place today are happening not in corporate headquarters or government offices, but in the act of a small business moving online, or a young boy or girl turning to the internet to learn and grow. All of us share the responsibility to partner and contribute, to turn this moment of challenge into one of opportunity for ourselves, for the people around us, and for our nation at this critical time. The world that we live in today is an and world, A&D world, as I would call it. Acceptance and nimbleness and disruption. Embrace it. Seize this moment. And with this, I would like to leave you with something very close to my heart. A video that truly shows how India inspires India every day. Thank you. And can you play the video, please?
चलिए, आपको ले चलता हूं इस छोटे से शहर की सैर पे। कितनी शांति, कितना सुकून है यहाँ, भाग दौड़ से बिल्कुल दूर, राइट? जरा बताएंगे सबको, आप जा कर इंटरनेट क्लास। ये है इनकी इंटरनेट क्लास और ये है इस क्लास की टीचर परवीन बेगम।
मैं एक इंटरनेट चाहती हूँ, मैं इन सबको इंटरनेट यूज करना सिखाती हूँ।
अच्छा, ये सब सीखने का फायदा
कौन बताएगा? रेशमा। ओके गूगल, लेमन ग्रास पद्मावती इंटरनेट साथी।
ये है पद्मावती। इनके गांव में किसी ने लेमन ग्रास के बारे में सुना तक नहीं था, पर इंटरनेट की मदद से इन्होंने यहाँ लेमन ग्रास की फसल लहरा दी। आज देखिए, इनका लेमन ग्रास ऑयल एक से बढ़ के एक प्रोडक्ट में यूज होता है। और पद्मावती जी, आपकी इंस्पिरेशन?
परवीन गारो।
देखते ही देखते पद्मावती की जैसी कहानियों ने कई लोगों को इंस्पायर किया गजब की चीजें करने के लिए, जैसे चन्ना पटना के रियाज अन्ना। ये मूर्तियां पूरी दुनिया में सिर्फ यही बनती हैं और इस सदियों पुरानी कला को सलामत रखने का इन्होंने एक नया तरीका सीखा। बस फिर क्या, आज ये मूर्तियां आना चाहेंगे तो फिर चलिए। ऋतिक ऋतिक ये ऋतिक बाबू भी आर्टिस्ट, नेशनल लेवल मार्शल आर्टिस्ट, और ये अपने ताइक्वांडो की प्रैक्टिस करते हैं रेलवे स्टेशन पे। जी हाँ, रेलवे स्टेशन। पूछिए कैसे? पूछिए ऐसे। ऋतिक को नेशनल चैंपियन बना, वर्ल्ड चैंपियन, सॉरी वर्ल्ड चैंपियन। इसलिए ये रोज यहाँ आके इंटरनेशनल खिलाड़ियों की ट्रेनिंग वीडियोस देखते हैं। और ऋतिक जैसे लोगों को देख के और भी लोग इंस्पायर होते हैं। कुछ पढ़ने आते हैं, कुछ पढ़ाने, कुछ आते हैं मनोरंजन के, और कुछ आते हैं दुनिया बदलने। Meet Girija and Vaishnavi, ऐप डेवलपर्स जो अपने शहर के लिए एक सेफ्टी ऐप पे काम कर रहे हैं। इनकी इंस्पिरेशन
मैडम
सेंथिल कुमार, एंटरप्रेन्योर, टीचर, पर सबसे पहले एक कोडर जिन्होंने गर्भवती महिलाओं के लिए एक हेल्थ ऐप बनाया है। In the village, it is impossible for pregnant women to go to the hospital, which is 20 kilometers away. I use code to make certain devices and apps that bring the hospital to them in this crucial time. दरअसल ये कहानी टेक्नोलॉजी की नहीं है, ना ही इंटरनेट की। ये कहानी है सेंथिल की, ऋतिक की, रियाज की, पद्मावती की, और हर उस इंडियन की जो किसी नए तरीके, किसी नई तरकीब से अपनी और दूसरों की जिंदगी बदल रहे हैं, और जाने अनजाने में एक दूसरे को भी इंस्पायर कर रहे हैं, हमें इंस्पायर कर रहे हैं।
So thank you once again. I really wish a really big Infocom 2020 of next 3 days, very good session. And to all the listeners, I'll again say disrupt and inspire. Thank you.